think there's no greater, safer, and more wonderful drug in the world than nostalgia. And I think John really brought, a kind of joy and togetherness into the world that is indelible. And I think, and I was just saying this a minute ago, that the ironic aspect of his death was that his heart failed, but his heart is the one thing that stayed behind. It really did. It was, you sit down and you watch any John Candy movie, and they say it in the doc too, you cannot avoid smiling. And there's something bittersweet about losing a presence like that. Somebody who didn't punch down, somebody who was self-effacing but didn't present as self-loathing. I can't speak to him at his home, in his personal life. He may have had some self-loathing, I don't know. But he was self-effacing but prideful, He was a guy that really, had a tremendous amount of pride in himself and who he was. And I think that there's something beautiful about that when you find a way to convey it without it feeling boastful.
Right. Colin, I think you did a really great job of, everything that he's accomplished has been incredible, but really he leaves behind this legacy of kindness. Yeah. I'm wondering for both of you, is there a specific story or just memory of him showing his generosity that touched you or stuck with you?
I mean, I met him when I was a little kid, and I have vivid memories of meeting John, and that's purely because of the way that he would make you feel, and Macaulay Culkin speaks to it in the movie. Max says very clearly, you can tell that he cared, and he made little kids feel that way, that their opinion mattered, that their emotions mattered, that they mattered, and John made everyone feel that way. Everyone that he came into contact with, whether they were co-stars or whether they were just people on the street, wanting a signature, he just had that. He just had that ability. So all of those kinds of stories that having had one personally myself, I go, yeah, that sounds right. That's John.
He's an actor, a comedian, but we also see him here as a father, as a man with big ambition, big ideas for himself, and also a people pleaser, as you pointed out. Is there anything about his story that connected with both of you, and any parts of his personality that you see in yourself?
Well, I don't know what a people-pleasing Canadian who owns a sports club and tends to overfunction from the moment he wakes up to the moment he goes to bed would have in common with me.
I didn't say that.
No, I didn't say that either. I'm talking about John.
Okay. John. That's right.
I see all kinds of things in him. I see kindness mostly. I see my brother in him. My brother is a guy who, uses vulnerability, and he's funny with it, but it's also just vulnerability, and John overfunctioned, and it's something I have to watch with myself. It's I don't know about you. Sometimes we can do too much.
Yeah. The people pleasing, the inability to say no, I think is something that I've constantly sort of struggled with. The thing that always struck me about John was that he just had such an everyman quality, but you couldn't quite pinpoint what it was. It was just a feeling. It was just an essence. And it turns out that his everyman quality was absolutely 100% authentic and real, because he suffered from the very same things that we all suffer from. Stress, anxiety, worry, fear, and cared about the very same things that we all do. Family, friends, making sure everyone is happy, making sure everyone is comfortable. All of these things, relate to in more ways than I care to convey at times. But that's what made John, and that's what made John so special.
And lastly, here, as lifelong John Candy fans, I'd imagine you're ready for the next generation to see all his movies. So what is the first one you're going to show your kids?
I mean, they've seen them all.
Yeah, you've already showed them, I'm sure.
Seen them all. Yeah, they love Uncle Buck. They don't have the passion for planes, trains, and automobiles that I do. I have it's a little disgusting. It's like a 10th degree black belt in planes, trains, and automobiles. They don't quite have that yet, but they love Uncle Buck.
Yeah. My kids, it's all, you're making a documentary about the Polka King of the Midwest? That's cool. It's Home Alone. Yeah, it's all Home Alone for them. But that's that's really kind of the amazing thing about John, is that, you can talk about a specific movie of his, or you can talk about just a character that he played in someone else's movie. Like he's just so versatile in that way that pretty much everything that he was in sort of kind of just becomes a John Candy film in some way.
100%. Even Vacation, where
Yeah.
where he's basically the Dakota
Yeah.
almost. I think of Chevy and John.
Yeah.
As the main kind of, but sorry folks, park's closed.
Park
Like
closed.
that's kind of the most of his lines right there.
Yeah, pretty much.